Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Ajay Peets, and this is Bermuda Youth Connect. Today, I have the privilege of speaking with Senator Lindsay Simmons, the PLP candidate for Constituency 10 in Smiths North. But before we dive into our conversation, a vital reminder. The by-election for Constituency 10 is scheduled for Wednesday, May 22nd, and it's just around the corner. If you are a resident of Constituency 10, I encourage you to check with the Bermuda Parliamentary Registry to ensure that you are registered to vote. This is your chance to shape the future of your community, and every vote counts. For those who haven't yet registered, even if you're not in constituency 10, there's no better time than now to register. Your voice matters and it's crucial to make it heard. So on May 22nd, make sure you cast your ballot. Senator Lindsay Simmons, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me here today. Just wanted to clarify, I'm no longer a senator. I had to
My
resign.
apologies.
No, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure that we cleared that I had to resign to run in the by-election.
All right, thank you so much for that clarification and thank you for that. I will also update our title because I have you as Senator Lindsay Simmons on the byline. But as we jump in, can you tell me what you do you have planned for the May 24th holiday coming up?
So for 24th of May, I will be going to the parade with my family to enjoy the festivities. And before the parade, obviously, I love getting out to watch the runners and support them along the way. Something I would never do, but encourage everybody that wants to run to go out there and run. And I'll be there on the sidelines, clapping my hands.
All right, do you have your spot taped up already? Are you one of those Bermudians?
No, I don't tape up spots. I just come along and find a space.
Awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What got you into politics and what you have planned for the future?
So I am 42 years old. I'm a mother, a wife, a sister, a friend, and a community activist. What got me into politics was my daughter, actually. Always been interested in politics, but having my daughter, when she came along, I knew that I wanted to help to shape Bermuda for her. So I definitely put my name forward. I have worked in the community a lot, and I think that I could do bigger things if I was sitting in the room that makes decisions. So that's why I put my name forward in 2020.
So, what do you have planned as a representative of Smiths North? And if elected, how do you plan to serve the constituency of C-10?
So for C-10, first and foremost, I am getting into the community to let them know that the PLP is stronger and I'm here to stay. When there's a draw, I will be there to make my mark in C-10. I plan on addressing concerns that the residents have had for a while in C-10. I've already started to address them, such as Bridal Hill and Loyal Hill Pass, the farm, and other areas that need to be addressed.
Right. And in my experience assisting with canvassing for C-10, I've connected with many of the young voters who at the time felt disconnected from political leaders and their constituency candidate, which is why I started Bermuda Youth Connect back in 2020. How have you been actively working to build these connections with young voters, specifically in C10? And what specific strategies will you employ to maintain and strengthen those relationships?
So I think I have a unique experience as teaching in the school system. So I know some of the residents from the school system. I also know their parents. And I think that people just resonate with me because I'm a people person and somebody that's out in the community doing things for youth. That's a lot of what I do is for youth. So it hasn't been too difficult. I do believe that more can be done for our youth. I remember in 2020 when I was getting ready to run in the election, I had a class and they were like, Miss Simmons, you're running in the election. And so they wanted to know a lot more about the election, about the parties and what the PLP stands for. So I think just getting my voice out there and letting people know that I'm here to answer any questions, and I don't have all the answers, and I don't pretend that I do. Like yesterday, a constituent had a concern, and I had the deputy premier with me yesterday, and he was able to take the call and give the right answer to the constituent that was in need. Minister Jason Hayward, he has been phenomenal with me canvassing. He will go to any house, and his pretty vast where he could speak on almost any topic. So it's like a breath of fresh air when he's there to be able to answer questions from other ministries. And he's a great person to canvass with. I've had a lot of support from all my colleagues canvassing, and I think that's something that people have actually really enjoyed. Not even getting to know Lindsay as a candidate, but also my colleagues. The premier's on the doorstep, driving around and getting people, and he goes to houses where people say, "Hey, I need to see the premier," and he doesn't shy away from these conversations. And he says, "Give me the name, and I'll go and see him," and he does. So I do appreciate that from my party.
It's amazing. And speaking specifically to young people, I know a lot of young people when it's election time and there's canvassing going around, a lot of them feel unheard because a lot of politicians tend to speak to the head of the house, which tends to be the parents or grandparents. But have you
Mhm.
had any experiences and interactions with young people in your constituency?
So I spoke to a young lady, I want to say about a week ago, and she wanted to know what can I do for the youth and what do I feel about the youth. And so I gave her my opinion and what I where I think the school system should go. What do I think about just youth in general with the murders and our black men being locked up. And so I let them know these are real issues that are troubling our youth about raising children without fathers because of either murdered or locked up. And it's honestly it's our black men that are actually we're losing. And so I I actually sit down and I sat down and I had a huge conversation to let them know my feelings about it and how we need to fix the village. I believe the village is broken and we need more and more people to step in and be able to raise our children as a whole. I remember growing up, if I did something wrong before I got home, five people had to already tell my parents what I did. And that was, we didn't have cell phones then, but they knew. And we were speaking to a young lady yesterday. She said the same thing. She said she got in a fight, and when she got in that fight, just a couple of feet from her house, before she got home, her daddy already knew. And so he actually was able to correct her. I feel that I'm the chairman of Cedar Bridge Academy right now, and even speaking to the students in the school and letting them know that, hey, there's a bright future for you guys out there. I'm also the chairman of the scholarship committee, and just reading the essays and seeing where these young adults are trying to go in life is inspiring. And I just hope that we could pour more into our children because they are our future.
100%. And I do appreciate all that you do for our young people actively in all capacities. So we're going to go a little bit back in time to about 2 years ago. So back
Mhm,
in February of 2022, Senator Marcus Jones made an inappropriate comment in the Senate that resulted in his resignation. I
mhm.
wanted to first commend you for defending the best interests of young people in that moment. Can you share what you felt in that moment and how you've learned and grown from that exchange?
So I was actually shocked and appalled to hear his comments. And if anybody listened to it, we just kept on getting back and forth. And I wasn't gonna let it go down because we're actually talking about our women. And I
Mhm.
felt that it was a disgrace that a black man in our community at the time would have such things to say about somebody. And yeah, I wasn't backing down. We were gonna go back and forth about it because I believe in standing up for women's rights and children. So we were gonna continue until President said, "Okay, that's enough," because we have to. If we stand for, if we allow such conversations to happen, what are we really standing for? So I definitely believe that he was wrong in his comments. I think that his comments were not in the best interest of anybody, not even just Bermuda women in general. And I am we've had a conversation about it afterwards, and I believe that he actually thought about it, and that's why he resigned, because it wasn't the right thing to say. Not a great look for the OBA, and I think it was the right decision at the time for him to resign.
So after that, so like how did that exchange help you in terms of navigating these types of situations in the Senate, um, in terms of like advocating for young women and young people in general? Like how did you grow from that and take that experience to where you are now?
So I learned, because I was new, I learned that my voice is powerful. I believe all our voices are powerful. And I believe that that exchange, um, that's the only person I think that's actually resigned since 2020. But I think that exchange was something that empowered me to not shy away from anybody, whether it was somebody from the OBA, somebody from the PLP, or just somebody on the street. I believe that we as women, especially, need to stand up and not allow anybody to have such words said about a woman. And it was he was speaking in general, but just speaking about women in particular, that we should never accept that. And so I definitely think that I found my voice through that conversation. Also, when I told my story in the Senate, I think those two exchanges actually empowered me to know that people are listening. The amount of people that spoke to me afterwards when I gave my motion to adjourn about my experience with being raped and stabbed, actually people from all walks of life, whether they were PLP, OBA, white, black, Portuguese. I actually had a Filipino woman reach out to me. People want to hear these stories, and not everybody's empowered to speak about it, and not everybody should have to speak about it. But I've never shied away from my story. So I think that for me, it gave me an avenue to speak out.
So much for sharing that. That was very powerful, and I commend you for being open and being an advocate for all. Um, Moving on and pivoting a little bit. In your article in the Royal Gazette titled "I'm passionate about helping children," you mentioned both that our government has not got everything right and that it is doing all it can to make life better for all of us. How do you reconcile these statements, and what specific areas do you believe require immediate improvement to ensure that the government truly fulfills its commitment for transformative change?
So I believe that if anybody tells you we did everything right, it would be incorrect. So I think no matter what we do moving forward, it's always something more we can do. And I encourage my political colleagues to always look for to the right way, sorry, the right ways to put our children forward and find an avenue to reach out to everybody. I feel that more could be done in these schools with allowing people on allowing people to come into these schools and actually tell stories. I told my story at Cedar Bridge, um, obviously a PG version of it, but I told my story, and you had teachers and students crying. I had a young lady reach out to somebody I knew and said, "Wow, I didn't know Lindsay went through this. She seems always put together, and to know that she went through this, I think that we definitely need to tell our story and advocate for our children more." So I do encourage the government now, the PLP, to find more ways to get into these schools, because I think if we do more, and children have more avenues to go to, um, we could actually probably stop some of the problems that are happening with relations to gang violence. We have so many broken homes, and broken homes doesn't mean single parent homes. You could have a home that has a mother and father in the home, but the home is still broken. We need to figure out ways to be advocates for our children and be advocates for our neighbors. And yeah, I would just encourage that we find more ways, because our children are definitely our future. And if we find ways to find things for them to do, get them off the PlayStations, get them off the Xboxes, get them off of TikTok, and actually get into these streets, it would be better for them. Just Friday, myself and one of my colleagues, Anthony Richardson, took a seniors. a seniors rest team out, and we actually took a drive down to St. George's and took them out to get ice cream. And I literally sat in the front of the bus and I looked to the side and we saw all these children on the side playing. And it was like a breath of fresh air. You don't see that much anymore in Bermuda where you see children on the streets playing. We need to get back to our basics of how we grew up and the children in the streets and playing. And, that forms friendships and it helps to build relationships. And I think that the relationships aren't being built the way that they should be. So I think that definitely if we look at ways to nurture our children and get them to create bonds and friendships, it will take us further in life.
I 100% agree with you. And I do think that though Bermuda is a very tight-knit community, we do have lost aspects of that from a long time ago, even from when I was a kid. And I'm not that old.
Yeah,
Um, but I do think I 100% agree with you that we need to even just start with conversations. And I think that that's why a lot of young people feel disconnected is that we don't have many interactions with people within our government and people within leadership. And I think
mhm,
if they just take the time and also we meet them where they are too, and have these conversations, we can spark positive change.
definitely.
So, my next question is about your presidency of the Foster Parents Association. So, as president of the Foster Parents Association, you've seen firsthand the struggles that children face when they age out of the foster care system. Can you outline specific measures you believe that the government should take to further to support these young adults beyond the current independent living program to ensure that they have a fair chance at a successful adulthood?
So I definitely want to thank the minister for bringing the independent living program because I definitely think that there was a gap that children that age out of the system, the ones that don't save their foster families, need somewhere to go because what's the alternative? Going back to a dysfunctional family or going with a friend. I actually believe that, in my opinion, being a foster parent and seeing children age out, it's not like it's 20 children aging out at a time, and not everybody needs somewhere to go. So I think that right now, unless it's a increase of children, I actually think the independent living facility is the best place to place children because they get the freedom, but they also get the support and how to open up bank accounts and how to manage money so that they're going in the right path of living independently. So I actually toured the place and it's phenomenal. It's like little apartments in this building. I actually knew a few of the residents there. One of them was actually one of my former foster children. And I remember her calling me and saying, "Oh, Lindsay, I don't know about this place." And so I said, "Have you been there?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm new, but I don't want to go." I said, "Try it out." And she actually loves it. She goes to work, she's able to go home. They do have a curfew, but they are given the freedom as adults to make decisions, but also they also have the support that they need in order to reach on somebody. We have social workers that are there 24/7 that actually assist them. So I think it's a great facility. It's a great program. And I think that, we are a small community and we don't have many children aging out. So I would say right now, if they had nowhere to go into the independent living facility would be the best bet for them.
That's amazing. And I think it would be amazing to shed some light on that success a lot more because I think it's commendable and I think it's much needed, especially if there's any opportunity for community support to help it flourish, help it to grow. Do you think there will ever be an opportunity for like community mentorship through this program?
So I know that the social worker Shemaine Richardson that is there, she does reach out to community partners. I know, for instance, I reached out to Ranry, who actually for Christmas, because they were foster children, Ranry used to get them gifts. And I said to Ranry, listen, these children are now aged out, the in this program, are we able to help them? And so they were able to help them. It was a lady that worked at Ranry that actually bought everybody some Christmas pajamas, some socks, and little baskets of of soaps and lotions and different things to make them feel welcome, plus a gift. I thought it was amazing. But I do know that they are willing to work with community partners to help them with this facility. I think it's awesome. Like, if anybody gets the opportunity to actually visit this facility, it's beautiful. They did an amazing job in turning that into this living program.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for expanding on that. Um, so I hope that this reaches somebody that could possibly bless this program. So why do you believe that you are the best choice for C10 Smiths North?
So I believe I'm the best choice because I'm a doer. I don't just say, I wouldn't just say, okay, RJ, I'm at your door, you tell me what your problem is, and I would let you know that if it's a problem that I could fix myself, I would do it. And if it's something that I need to go and read somebody else to get an answer for, I would do that. But I would also circle back to you and let you know if it's something that is doable or not doable. I think that sometimes we leave people in a situation where we say, okay, don't worry, I took down the notes and I'll get back to you, and we don't get back. I think that we need to take the time and circle back to people and let them know whether we can fix it, whether we can fix it, and why. And if we can't, why can't we fix it? And what's another solution that we may come up with? So I think that I've proven myself in C-10 that many of the issues that have come to me that people said not even Michael Dunkley was able to touch or fix, I've been able to fix already. And I believe that other issues that are still in the works, like Bridal Hill, it's been articles written and said about me about picking up trash. It's never been an issue for me. I have parents that are elderly, so I would want somebody to help my parents. So picking up trash in Bridal Hill is not an issue for me. It's not been one time since September that we collected trash that we haven't had a giggle on the way. I haven't enjoyed the company of my political colleagues. So I definitely think that I am somebody that's going to do the work from now until my political career ends. So I definitely think that they will get somebody that's not just there telling people what they want to hear, but my track record proves that I am somebody that's going to do the work, and I get my hands dirty and will do it myself. Like, I can't buy turkeys for everybody, but if you have a problem that's um, something that's going to affect you like daily, I would do it. I think Michael Dunkley did an amazing job in C-10 with connecting with his people, and I think that I could do that, but do it even better. So I'm putting it out there that I'm gonna be there to represent everybody, whether you vote for me or not. But on Wednesday, when they call my name out as a winner, I will be there on Bridal Hill right after the election to get collecting trash for the people of Bridal Hill, win, lose, or draw.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
I wish you all the best. But before we go, I just have one fun question to ask you.
you.
If you could make one social law that everyone had to follow, what would it be? It could be something small, something that even that inspired you through your time canvassing in C10.
So I think for me, I would find out a way to make sure that everybody had healthcare, because I think that healthcare is important. It affects everybody at some point, and if it's a way that everybody was insured, I would do that, because being able to be healthy is is something that could affect you in every way, whether it's work, whether it's school, having children. I know that the PLP has helped people that are underinsured or not insured with having children. That was something that Minister Wilson had pushed through the House, and I am glad that went through. But I think overall, if everybody had healthcare, basic healthcare coverage would essentially help everybody in life, because our health is what we need to get through every day.
Amazing. I 100% agree with you. Um, Healthcare is much needed in Bermuda, and even going through a period of time without it can be a big hardship on a lot of people.
definitely.
But thank you so much for stopping by and giving us a little bit of your time. I wish you all the best on Wednesday. And to everyone who is listening, if you are a resident of C-10, please come out on Wednesday, May 22nd to cast your vote and have a beautiful Sunday day.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Have a great day. And come to Loyal Hill
Yes, come to Loyal Hill.
today. They're having the 24th of May.
Right.